2024 was the best year of my life. Lots happened this year, so I want to recap the highlights, set goals for 2025, and see if I hit my goals from last year that I set for myself. I do these videos every year to motivate you guys to chase your dreams, hold myself accountable, and to look back on my life in my 20s, which sadly just ended this year, which is really tough. And of course, to see all the cool things that were happening at this given year. So before we jump into the recap, I need a bourbon. Cheers. God, that's good. The biggest milestone happened the second week of the year during a snowstorm. We welcomed our daughter Lila into the world. Paige did a fantastic job in labor, as she always does, and we brought her home after just 2 days in the hospital to finally become a family of 4. It's been really cool to see Lila start to babble, grow a personality, and make our family that much more interesting. In March, I flew to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and was cast as a member of a TV show for a week-long live-in entrepreneurship competition called The Blocks. I was chosen from tens of thousands of applicants all around the country, and after 3 rounds of interviews, I was heading to Tulsa. I competed against 116 other businesses, learned new areas of growing my company. I made a full recap video of my experience, but I really did enjoy meeting new people from all over the country that were all entrepreneurs. You can watch the full show on Facebook Watch, and they're soon going to be releasing the entire season on Amazon Prime as well. It was a really cool experience, and I'm really glad that I did it. Now, for my company, Snaadt Media Group, we had a really slow Q1, and I mean like really slow. Between paternity leave and marketing budgets not getting approved, the first 3 months of the year, I was starting to freak out about the lack of revenue coming in. But then, wouldn't you know it, the clouds parted, and we got flooded with client work. Things got super busy, shooting hundreds of videos for different clients all around the country. We shot in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Boston, Des Moines, and everywhere in between. We finished 2024 with the highest revenue I've seen in the last 8 years in business. There were months that I was making more in 30 days than I used to make in an entire year. And I attribute this really to focusing on commercial client work, landing some larger retainer clients that we're going to work with on a recurring monthly basis, and getting some more repeat work from past clients and more of it than we've ever had before. To our clients, thank you so much for trusting myself and our team with your video work. You guys allow me to build this business and share the journey with everyone, and also get to create every day, so thank you so much again. A big step that I took this summer was hiring our first intern/production assistant, Aaron. He came on for about 4 months this summer to help out with editing, setting up lights, interviews, as well as running a camera on set when we needed it. This was a great learning experience for both of us. I basically threw him to the wolves in the best way possible, letting him run with some of the projects and learn on the fly. He was editing podcasts, sports hype videos, cutting interviews, setting up lights, and he did a lot in 4 months. I was also taking this time to systemize my processes so I can easily train new people that come onto the team in the future. I currently employ a small group of contractors on various projects that have helped a ton with covering shoots when I'm already booked, or when I'm on paternity leave or out of town. So the big picture is to bring more talent in-house and work with the same crews on a regular basis to continue to build a culture here that is really fun and collaborative. I'll drink to that. After being convinced that I needed to run a mastermind from some of the cast members that I had on the blocks, I decided to test the waters with a mastermind group for Solo Video Pro. This first group was 7 other videographers that are from all over the country. We met weekly for 3 months, where I would lecture them on a new topic and have roundtable discussions about real problems that the members were having right then. There were some pretty big breakthroughs, and members were hitting 6 figures for the first time, closing huge projects, leasing new studio space, and doing some really dope things. And I'm really proud of all the great stuff they've been able to accomplish in the last year. This really filled my coaching and mentorship cup, as I plan to do it again next year and cap the group at 15 members. So if you're a video business owner that's considering jumping into the next group, make sure to check the description blocks below for a link to apply. The Blocks cast members also alerted me to how many business owners want to start a podcast but have no clue how to do it. There are dozens of people that I met on the show that were really jealous of my show and were asking me how I did it and if I could teach them. So I launched a course called the Business Podcast Playbook, where I teach people how to produce a professional podcast for their business. We are still missing a few lessons in the material to finish out the course, which will be completed very soon. But you can see more about that in the description box as well. Rhymes with Odd, my podcast where I interview Iowa business leaders about their come-up stories, reached 51 episodes. I publish a new podcast every Monday morning for a year straight. Now this I had to pause in the summer since we were backed up on edits. Even with Aaron helping and myself working really hard, we had 17 projects at one time that we were working on at the exact same time, which is pretty stressful. So after a 6-month hiatus from the summer until about now, I'm pumped to say that we are launching season 2 in January of 2025. I have already captured 13 of these interviews, so make sure to sub to our podcast channel to not miss an upload. I've interviewed a hot sauce CEO, social media influencers, cancer survivors, and a ton of interesting people that have so much knowledge to share with you, and it's all 100% free. You can listen on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. And I would encourage you to go to the YouTube channel because the goal is to pass 1,000 subscribers this year on the YouTube channel so I can finally start making money from this thing. So go sub if you haven't already. I'll put another link in the description box below as well with everything else that we've talked about in this video so far. In May, I got hired to speak at a biohazard cleaning company retreat. Yeah, the people that clean up murder scenes, hoarder houses, and have seen some of the most disgusting things imaginable. You really just can't make this up. Those are the people that I'm talking about. So I flew to Jacksonville, Florida for a few days and got to speak on video marketing for their franchise locations all over the country. And while I was there, Jacksonville was an interesting city. I saw like 5 people downtown doing the zombie walk. You know, like this. Don't do drugs, people. We decided to fly to Florida and visit Paige's grandparents with the kids. So we loaded the kids up and we hit the skies in the airplane. Both kids did okay until the flight home when Roan decided to throw up all over me. Twice. Parenting is so much fun. This year, I turned 30 years old, and let me tell you, I feel 30. There's so much going on, I'm tired all the time, my hair's starting to thin out.
We won't show you what's under the hat.
Body fat's becoming much harder to burn. It's a blast. But in that vein, I was really struggling to find some time to get to the gym with a baby, a toddler, and a crazy schedule that I was leading. So in March, I started getting up early and started hitting the gym before my family woke up, which is not my favorite thing since I'm a night owl by nature. This one change has really helped me with my overall health, my mood, and my confidence, and looking to continue to do this in the next year as well. In November, I joined some friends in Wyoming at the Grand Teton National Park for our annual guys trip. We went hiking, drank a lot of whiskey, and got to catch up. I highly recommend hiking there if you have not already. But maybe go in the summer so you don't have to trudge through snow while you take in all the views like we did. Just a suggestion. The biggest lesson that I've learned from this year is being okay with sitting still, ironically. Even though our lives are really busy right now, there are many times where we just stopped and smelled the roses. Make no plans and just enjoy time with family and friends. So many people get so busy with life that they kind of forget to stop and enjoy it. So I want to really continue this in 2025. Now in these videos, I always talk about the goals that I set for myself and if I hit them or not. So let's talk about the goals from 2024 that I set for this year. And if you forgot, here's what they were. First goal of this year was to become a dad again. Check. Second was to hire my first employee. Check. If you count a 4-month internship, which I do, so check. Increase revenue by $30,000. Kinda check. I have quite a bit of outstanding invoices and projects booked out for the next 6 months that haven't technically paid yet, and I've locked them in. I just don't have the money in the bank yet. So I'll give myself a kinda check on that one. The next one was being consistent on social media and YouTube by posting at least once a month on YouTube. Check. We'll have 12 YouTube videos, including this one, a weekly podcast, which I mentioned, and posting on social media every single week at the very minimum. Here are my goals for 2025. Oh, that's some good bourbon. I'm getting warm, I gotta take my shirt off. Woo! My first goal of 2025 is to increase revenue to...
Whoa, wait, don't.
What?
Don't tell them that. Because it's not smart to tell people how much money you make on the internet, okay? Just tell them general. Just go general, okay?
Why can't the people know? It's a fun number. It's a lot of money. It's good.
Yes, well, it's my job to make sure that things are up to code and that you're not giving the farm away and telling people too much. You know, you're lucky that you hired me, okay? Yeah, I know my butt looks good in these jeans. I'm calling HR.
Well, I guess we'll never know. Regardless of what the number is, it is definitely higher than where I've been in the past 8 years. So there's a very tactical approach that I'm gonna take to try to achieve those goals, which will be something that we can talk about in another video. My next goal is to hire a part-time editor for Snaadt Media Group. I know I've been the main bottleneck in the business the last year, and it definitely showed itself in the summer. So I'm hoping to bring on a part-time editor that can just handle all the post-production side, and I can really focus myself on production, as well as sales and client management and all the other activities that I have to do as the owner of this business. So really excited. We have room here in the studio for maybe 2 more employees besides myself, like a total of 3 before we'd have to get a bigger space. So really excited to go down this journey and find the right person for our company. My next goal is to publish 50 Rhymes with Odd podcasts. As I mentioned before, I was really trying to stay consistent last year, and I want to continue to do that again this year. A really exciting thing about the podcast is I finally started to monetize it in different ways by selling ad revenue, sponsorships, and other things to try to make money from the show. All of last year, I made 51 episodes and spent 2 to 3 hours per episode editing those, as well as an hour and a half to 2 hours of each one recording them. My next goal is to publish 24 YouTube videos next year. So this averages out to about 2 a month. And I want to really get consistent on YouTube again because I've been kind of putting it on the back burner the last couple years. I've been researching video ideas and putting a whole bunch of notes together, and I'm really excited to roll those out in the next year. My next goal is to launch the second iteration of the Solo Video Pro Mastermind, getting 15 people in this next cohort to really maximize the experience for all that are involved. As I mentioned earlier, we were doing 3-month iteration cohorts, doing a weekly call and coaching combination with a lecture in there. So again, super fulfilling thing. I want to do another round of it this year and plan to do so. Final goal for the business is to complete the business podcasting course that I put together called the Business Podcast Playbook. We have about 7 more lessons that have to be added to it to completely finish it out, and then we'll increase the price to our regular price rate for that. So those are all my goals for the business, and I only have one personal goal this year, and it was something that I really wish we could have accomplished, but we will in the next year, and that is to have 1 monthly date night with my wife. With all the crazy stuff going on, we did not have a lot of date nights this last year, so we want to really make it a priority this year to have 1 monthly out of the house date night together. So those are my goals, but I want to hear what your plans are for 2025. So leave 3 goals that you have for yourself in the comment section below this video. Statistics show by writing them down and telling people about them, you are much more likely to actually hit your goals than just keeping them to yourself. So please use my comment section, share them with you. We'll give you some encouragement and maybe even share some tools with you to help you reach your own goals. My name is Ryan Snaadt. It rhymes with odd, and we'll see you in the next video and in 2025. Peace.